Tell us a little bit about what you spoke about today.
Yeah. So today, a lot of it is just about the simple idea that we as an ag industry, whether it be farmers, whether it be anybody else in the industry, need to do a better job, or need to start in some cases communicating with our consumers. Our consumers have questions about food. They have questions about how food is produced. They're not idiots about it. They just want to know more. Where are they going to get that information? The best source is from us.
And one of the great catch lines along that you were talking about during the session was in regards to, if you don't tell your story, no one else is.
Well, and that's the reality. Like, nobody else is going to tell our version of the story. Processors are going to tell theirs. Retailers are going to tell theirs. Animal rights activists are going to tell theirs. Like, everybody has a version of how food is produced. I think we're the only ones that obviously, can talk to it, right straight from the source. So therefore we have to be the ones to do that.
And so when farmers are telling their story sort of thing, what tips should they keep in mind?
You know what, a big thing is, well, there's several, but the big ones really lead to the fact that, one, we don't need to win over every consumer. We don't need to win a discussion. We just need to have some of these conversations. People are interested. They've got a lot of choice. They can choose our product or they can't. It really doesn't matter. It's just about, kind of respecting where they're coming from, learning a bit about why they make their food decisions, and then them learning about the decisions that you make as a farmer, and why you might do it one way versus another, because we all know those reasons. We all know why we choose to be conventional, organic. We all know why we choose to put animals in a barn or not, or have one livestock over another. We just have to kind of share that. That's one. And then two really is a lot about, how we make that connection with that person is, understanding where they come from. It doesn't necessarily always need to be the facts that we want to share with them, what we think is important. We need to stop for a minute and think about, like, what's important to them? What are they interested in? What are they concerned about? That's what we need to do.
If farmers aren't comfortable telling their story, what alternatives are there?
So I think there's two things. So one, the telling your story thing, I think, doesn't always need to be complicated. I think some farmers do overthink it a little bit in saying, you don't have to do it on social media if you don't want to. You don't have to do it in front of large crowds if you don't want to. It can really just be, have you ever talked to some of the people at your church, at your, Lions Club meeting, at your hockey game, at whatever? Like, even the people in your community won't know what you're doing fully. So some of it can just be talking with them. That's an easy one. But then the other one is if you really don't want to do that as well, I'm a big proponent of, you can pay somebody else to do it, and not necessarily hire them on farm, but there are organizations across the country that are really trying to do a good job in communicating that message to consumers and working with, farmers that do want to share that. The reality is their money does not grow on trees. So if you want to support them, write a check and then it can support the work that they're doing in classrooms, at festivals, wherever it happens to be.